Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and this is the final video on the Cristiano Ronaldo interview. If you haven't seen the part 1, I'll put it up there and then you can access it. Alright, so we have a lot of things to unwrap in this video because most of the explosive things in the interview were actually in this part, and especially whatever was teased by Pearce Morgan. Some of the most controversial things were in the part 2. Part 1 was very subtle. So let's go over the part 2. So the interview starts with Pearce Morgan asks him how Cristiano Ronaldo, how do you see football these days? And then he responds that he sees football like a business these days. That if you're giving and offering club something, they will treat you with respect. But if you're not of any use to them, they will just treat you like a meat. And he says that he has been made black sheep everywhere, and especially the media has portrayed him in a bad light and always made him look like a bad guy. So that was how the interview started, and then Pearce Morgan just went a little bit deeper into the conversation and went upon to the preseason issues, that why did he miss preseason, to which Cristiano Ronaldo said that his daughter Bella had bronchitis and she was in the hospital. He talked to the doctors and he basically said that I wanted to be with my family because for me family is more important than football. And he said that the most shocking part was that he said that I talked to the directors at Manchester United and they sort of did not believe me. He did not explicitly state who was the guy who did not believe him, or if there were any conversation with the manager regarding that. So he did not went over that, but he said I felt hurt that they did not take my word, and there were a little bit doubt in their tone, which means, and he said that many people in the press, he included press again, that many people in the press kind of, doubted his professionalism, and he said that I have been playing football for 21 years, and if still you doubt my professionalism, then you're probably wrong and you're just trying to portray me as a bad guy. And then Pearce Morgan just went into the next thing, like why did he leave during a preseason game at halftime? Then he said that Ronaldo responded that it was not only me, there were 7 more players with me who left, and we got the reports that there were like 8 players. And but the thing is that the media only reported about me. They never took the name of any other players, which again is kind of like an agenda against me, he responded. And then was a big question which I think every Manchester United fan wanted an answer to, like why did he storm off against Spurs? And then he said that first of all, I regret that decision to walk off the pitch against Spurs, and he said I would like to apologize for it, and I also did an Instagram post. I apologized to my teammates, but they understand how I felt at that moment. But he went on to Erik Ten Hag, which was the most controversial part, especially out of all the teasers. This was the one that fans were most split about. So he said I felt provoked. He said that Erik Ten Hag did not put me in City game, and then to the press he said that out of respect he didn't do it. And then against Spurs, he asked me to come on from the bench when there were only 3 minutes left and game was dusted and I was not needed. To that he also added that if a team needs me and there are even 5 minutes, you put me on with the 5 minutes, I'm happy to come on. But when I'm not needed, then to put me on there, that's a disrespect, and I'm not that kind of player who will come for 3 minutes when the game is finished. So that is what he was saying. So he lashed into Erik Ten Hag further. He said that whatever he respects me, he says that he respects me, it's only for the press. I feel like he does not respect me, and I will never have respect for somebody who does not respect me. So how do you take that? I think we take that, it can be taken both ways. First of all, Cristiano does not say, he said at some point that I understand why Erik Ten Hag makes some of the decisions he's making, but I feel disrespected because how I've been treated, and especially due to the preseason. Like I missed preseason for a reason, and there were some players who did not do the preseason. I guess it's Eriksen and Antony, because Antony was injured and then he went on a strike. Eriksen was a free agent, so obviously like those players were able to come into the first team right away, and I have to wait for so long for my chance. So he basically means that he wasn't not treated in the same way as the other players were, and an example was being made out of him. So basically he feels like Erik ten Hag disrespected him. And then he also said that at any other club or with any other manager, he never had this kind of problem because he have always been in good terms with the managers. But this is the very first time it happens, and the respect for me is only for the press conferences. It's not behind the doors. And what do I think about it? I think if you see Erik ten Hag's personality, I don't think so he's a bad guy, but he's an introvert kind of a guy. He's a person who would just say one-liners or who would not speak much, and then he's not that friendly with his players because he's a pragmatist. He's a very good tactician, but may not be as good as a man manager. And that's something Sir Alex Ferguson said, that there are some players with different kind of personality, like he went with Cantona and Ronaldo. They need to be treated differently. Maybe that's the reason. I think the communication between the two could have been much better. Ronaldo would not communicate well with Erik ten Hag because of his ego, and Erik ten Hag would not communicate well because of his personality, or maybe he has his own ego as well, that I'm the manager, I'm gonna do whatever I want, and nobody can question me. And he want to establish that authority, on the dressing room, because he's gonna be there for much longer than Cristiano Ronaldo. And after this interview, maybe Cristiano's time is done at Manchester United, which I feel. And we'll talk about it. What are the key points to take away from the interview later on? And then Pearce Morgan asked him, are they trying to force you out? And he says, I feel betrayed. There are many people at the club, not only the coach, but there are many other people in the board, around the club, who I feel are trying to force me out. Not only just this year, but also the last year. And then he also went into the Glazers, that he never spoken to Glazers, which was a very shocking fact even for me. Like as big as the name of Cristiano Ronaldo is, he's never been able to speak directly with the Glazers. So all kind of things. He said he does not care. They do not care about the club. They just are business-minded people. They just see the profits, and they are not the right owners. If I have to summarize it, that's what he wanted to say. And he said basically that Manchester United needs a lot of change, not in just the coach's personality, but also in the infrastructure, if they want to compete at elite level, which is, I think, all the fans would agree. Apart from the Ten Hag thing, I think most of the things he said in the interview are some things you can agree on. And then he asked that when you came to Manchester United, we know there were city talks. So was that an emotional decision? He said with any other club, it would have been much more of a rational decision, but this one was more emotional than rational. And it was because of his love for the club and his history with the club and his love for the fans in Manchester. So that's the reason he said yes. And he says that he does not regret his decision. Maybe in second season, but first one, still it was a good season for him, and he might have had good moments with the fans as well. And he says that whenever I'm on the streets in Manchester, all the fans show me love, so I can feel that. And then Piers asked him that how did you adapt your game with age? And he said that obviously I'm not like Cristiano Ronaldo, who was in like his 20s. I am the one who's like in 37 years old, and I have to adapt my games. I know what my strengths are, what I was able to do before, and what I cannot do right now. So, and one thing he mentioned was that if people around me give me positive energy, I'll be able to do more. I'll score a lot more goals. I'll be happy. And when that's not the case, the energy around you is negative. You're not able to be yourself. And what he means to say is like this season, it's not that he cannot finish the ball or something, because some professional footballer once told me that the last thing that leaves a professional player is his finishing ability, like a striker. He might lose his touch, he might lose his speed, he might lose his physicality, but the finishing will be the last thing that will leave him. So that's again, he means to say that it did not dip all of a sudden, it's just because of the mindset. So maybe in Portugal he plays much better because the environment in the national team is quite different, very different from Manchester United, and maybe he feels well over there. And then Piers Morgan also asked him, like, what about the clubs offers in summer? Did you had any offers in summer? He honestly said that I did not have so many clubs who offered me, but I still had few clubs that were offering me. And the media ran about with the story that Ronaldo has been rejected everywhere. So he said that whenever Jorge Mendes would go to like Chelsea, Bayern, or somebody else or any other club, they would run a story like Ronaldo was offered to this club and he's been rejected here, which was very insulting to him. He said that Jorge Mendes has like 100 players, and does not matter which player he's offering to which club. They always the stories like Cristiano Ronaldo has been offered and clubs have rejected him, which we have seen. There was a very huge agenda, and breaking news were made during the summer always, like this club is not interested, they don't want him, this, that, and we know what happened. So moving on, and Piers asked him if this is his last World Cup, and Cristiano Ronaldo said probably it's his last World Cup. And then Pearce Morgan asked him who are the favorites, and he said France, Argentina, Spain, Brazil, and England. I know for many people it was like they were very shocked. Oh, he mentioned Argentina. Come on. The fight between Ronaldo and Messi, the rivalry is there, but it's a healthy rivalry. In the fans, it's toxic rivalry. And the Messi question which he answered, which I'll be covering in a few minutes, will strongly suggest to the fans why they need to stop being toxic and need to respect both the goats of the game. Alright. So after that, Piers asked that you'll get criticism with this interview. Do you know that? And he said, when I don't speak, I get criticized. And when I speak, I still get criticized. So he knows that he'll get criticized. Does not matter. Whatever he says becomes a news and a headline. And media will spin off the agenda however they want. Like they'll take the quote and they'll spin it as per their own agenda to get more views. Like what clickbaits are getting more attention, they will put exactly the same things in the videos. Or anything else, whatever the articles go around. This is how media works. That's why I'm saying like professionalism in sports journalism is almost down to zero now. There are only few outlets that do good reporting, and most of them are actually regional ones, not the big ones, because they don't create hypes and breaking news for the sake of just getting views. And he also said that I hope that fans don't forget me. They will always be in my heart, whether I return to Manchester or not. So you can take it as a goodbye. I think so. He expects that 90% chances that he will never return to Manchester, but he hopes that fans do not forget him because he loves them and he expects the fans to love him for what he has done for the club. And I think that's gonna be the case. Even if whatever happens in this interview, I don't think so. He said very explosive thing apart from the Eric Ten Hag thing. I see that many fans might be furious, but 2, 3, 4 years down the line, everybody will again be with Ronaldo because there's a legacy at United. He's a legend, so nobody can forget that. And then Piers Morgan asked him a question that was actually a good question. He asked him that what if there's Argentina and Portugal final, you score 2 goals, Messi scores 2 goals, and in the last minute you score the winner and Portugal wins the World Cup. And to which Cristiano Ronaldo very honestly said, it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true. And if that happens, I'm done with football. I retire from football. So that's what his answer was. And then the following question was, I think the most beautiful part in the entire video, when he was asked on Messi, that what's his relationship with Messi and thoughts on Messi as a person, to which Cristiano said, as a footballer, he's amazing, he's magic. Period. I have a lot of respect for him and he is a teammate. I'm like, teammate, yeah. He said, because we have been rivals for so long and been at the top for so long, it feels like he's kind of my teammate right now. And we are dominating the world football for so long. And as a human, he said he's a very good guy. His wife has good relations with my wife because Georgina is also from Argentina. And he said, I would like to have dinner with Messi one day. And he has also said the same thing previously. And he also said that Messi is the best player he has seen playing along with Zidane. And then Piers said, do you think Arsenal will win the Premier League? We all know that Pearce Morgan is an Arsenal fan. So he was asked about this. Do you think Arsenal can win the Premier League? He said, if not United, I hope Arsenal wins. And Arsenal has been doing very good in the Premier League. So that was his answer. Does that mean Cristiano Ronaldo to Arsenal? I don't know. Maybe. And then the conversation was about like Tom Brady coming to Old Trafford and watching Cristiano Ronaldo play against Tottenham when Cristiano Ronaldo scored a hat-trick. Then he asked him like, did your hat-trick change Tom Brady's mind to come out of retirement? Then Cristiano Ronaldo very honestly said, I think his mind was made up a few weeks earlier than that. But having people like Tom Brady, having positive people give me energy to perform better. And we saw on the pitch, he scored a hat-trick there. And then after that, Pearce Morgan asked him like, after football, what would you like to do? To which Cristiano Ronaldo replied, I would like to write a book about how to, maintain longevity in football. And basically how to take care of your body, how to be a good professional in football. And he said, I want to help people and I also want to improve my English because my English is, Pearce Morgan said, your English is good. He said, good, but I still need to get my English to a better level. And for that, I need to do more interviews. So that was all that was said in the interview. So what are the takeaways from the interview? Both days. I think the first day, there was nothing much controversial about there. Apart from one or two lines from Ralf Ragnick. In this part, it was the most controversial part was the Erik Ten Hag conversation. I think there was a major chunk of conversation around Erik Ten Hag, the coach, about 10 to 15 minutes, I guess. And you can take it either way, You can take it, you can sympathize with Ronaldo, you can sympathize with Erik Ten Hag, you can understand Erik Ten Hag's decision, you can understand Ronaldo's frustration. So basically, Ronaldo said that he told you what he feels, right? He justified his decisions, how he was feeling as a human being. You can make a decision it was right or wrong. That's up to you. He did not say I'm right or wrong. He said, I felt this and I needed to tell people how I felt at that moment. Now, you can make decision about it. You can run stories about it. But that's how he felt. He honestly, I think, overall, the entire interview was very honest from Cristiano Ronaldo. There was nothing like there was nothing where I felt like he's trying to make up things. He said, I don't care. Whatever, people need to hear the truth, my side of story, and I am going to tell that. And I think he did a good job on doing that. And we've been seeing like Cristiano hasn't spoken for like a year, and there were stories running around him, this, that, and finally he had to come up and give an interview. So with that, the most important part was the major takeaways, like what about his Manchester United career? I think I don't know. I think the club might. I don't think so. They'll terminate his contract. Maybe they'll come on a very mutual agreement that Cristiano leaves. So we'll have to actually look to it what will happen, because I really don't know what's gonna happen. And Manchester United is a very unpredictable club. Maybe we'll still see second half Cristiano Ronaldo spending in Old Trafford. Maybe not. We need people, they need to sit together with Jorge Mendes and get the interview out. And then the Messi part in the video was very good, and that is a reflection for us fans who keep fighting on Ronaldo, Messi, Ronaldo, Messi, Ronaldo, Messi. You see how much respect they have for each other and how highly they speak for each other. So we should not fight on the social media and create a toxic environment. Let me say one thing, the toxic Ronaldo fans and for toxic Messi fans as well. The toxic Messi fans will make, the Ronaldo fans miss Messi's majestic career, and Ronaldo's toxic fans will make the fans miss the majestic career of Lionel Messi, because we'll be too biased to see who is better than who, and we'll just ignore the other guy, which is, I think, in football terms, it will be a sin. I think we should enjoy both of them, and let's support both of them in the last moment of their career. You know, you never know when they'll stop playing football, so just support them. And with that, that's all I wanted to cover in this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.